so as we let it load, game 2001, it'll run on pretty much anything right now.
Those beasts were after me.
What in God's name were those things?
They're called howlers. And while I've never seen one before tonight, I've heard of them for years.
Those weren't natural, my friend. We're fighting more than superstitions here.
Perhaps I was being naive not to tell you, but there might be something more sinister at work here. When I was a boy, I encountered something I can't quite explain. You see, there was this isle of standing stones that sits just off the estate. Someone had carved a sigil into each of the stones, something indiscernible. Father had many books on the occult, one of which contained a sketch of that very symbol. I took my brothers and sisters out to the island and read from my father's book.
Well, what happened?
Something answered. The ocean began to boil, and a great wind whipped against us as we stood in the circle, and my siblings huddled to the ground in fear. Eventually, the wind died, and the sea settled. Patrick, I know it sounds like the ravings of a dying man, but I believe those standing stones had something to do with this. What has once been a taint upon this family has now begun to manifest itself.
But you told me you're dying. Doesn't this curse end with you?
Who knows? My brothers and sisters are dead, but I don't think they're really gone. I've heard some servants whispering. They think they've seen Lisbeth on the estate. My family has come for me. I sense them, Patrick. By now, you and I know the supernatural exists. You saw the Howlers. And what about our encounters with the Tersante during the war? You still even carry the Gelzebah stone with you.
It's a token of the shaman's life I took. That's all.
I found a scroll with a picture of the Gelzebah on it. I believe it contains the way to awaken the stone's dormant power.
Very well. Let me study this scroll overnight, and I'll see what I can do in the morning.
This house still hides many secrets. I'm counting on you to reveal them and put an end to this mess.
So, it's the next day in your guest room, so you went to sleep in this house where all this weird stuff is happening. Interesting. But anyway. And now we have a new power. So we have ectoplasm, which is an offensive power on the stone. So actually, I guess ectoplasm on. So can't really move anything. But as we move forward, we'll see that maybe all is not well with this place. We've already gotten a faint idea, but rumors of his sister still walking around.
Have you noticed anything strange going on?
Apparently, Elizabeth's room was broken into last night during the commotion.
Where's her room?
Just down the hall from here. It's quite a mess.
So let's investigate about the journal real quick. Elizabeth's room. Here's a scroll about the ectoplasm. Jeremiah believes proper concentration. Focus my man. I'll be able to release a bolt of ectoplasm. So, and more about the Howler and how this is affecting the family. So, again, like I talked about in the opening, very Bioshock, bullet on one, plasma or ability on the other. So we'll do our reload, which is quite an animation, and let's go investigate Elizabeth's room.
Tell me what you know about Lisbeth.
Why, she was a fetching young lass. Quite the fiery temper, though. She could be placid and calm 1 minute, and then suddenly she's spitting curses and swinging her nails at you like an animal. 'Tis a pity her mother died birthing her.
Indeed.
Following her mother's death, I'd raised Lisbeth like my own. In the end, the wasting sickness got her. I'd cared for her when she was sick and watched her wither away to nothing. Pity a young woman has to die in the spring of her life. Now she rests with her poor mother at the family mausoleum. The groundskeeper claims to have seen her recently. Oh man, seeing a ghost is never a good omen.
Where can I find this groundskeeper?
He's out in the gardens. You can get there through the kitchen.
Your knowledge is appreciated. Thank you.
He's probably gardening in the middle of a storm too. So, more journal entries talks about what happened with Elizabeth. There are a lot of games you can see that borrowed elements. I mean, if you look back, this is around the same time that we're seeing Ken Levine do his work, Fireworks. I love that mirrors actually work. Even though, yes, that was something we saw in Duke Nukem. But
Oh, this
now,
house
one of
needs a
the coolest
priest.
things we'll see. This house needs a priest, as she just said. So, we heard the creepy voice say, "See," hits, and hey, Elizabeth's now hanging out with a bunch of howlers. That can't possibly be a good sign. Investigating a little more, we'll find another back, more working mirrors, which again, just cool. I don't know, mirror tech always impressed me. And now let's see what we can do about finding out what's going on. So, a lot of scripted
Help
events in
me!
this game. A lot of these little pieces with things breaking in from the outside. I can't even get up to show you. And another dead maid. Why anyone would work in this house, I'm not sure. But we'll keep moving. I wish I'd had something. So our guy's bleeding. He's attacked by a howler. If you haven't given this game a shot, I would. Especially during the Halloween season. It's a great game. It's atmospheric. And especially with the surround sound. I have surround sound headphones on right now. All the bumps and creeps and howls, it's understandably disconcerting. So, we heard another look. We need to put on Scryer. And like the maid mentioned, Elizabeth was born. Apparently, we can go see his eye vision and see. I think they're not doing a really great job cleaning it up. So we can see ectoplasm is helpful. It actually is a short term or a short range weapon, so I really shouldn't have been backing up and using it, but you see one of those howlers coming at you, you get
Jammed.
understandably nervous. obviously someone in Mommy Daddy wasn't really big on fidelity, so, or at least on monogamy, because we have blonde, black, brown, red, and red for hair. Not sure they're all 100% family, at least genetically. So, but the cool thing, like we saw with the Elizabeth portrait, is we hit Scryer and Sweet Noses. These are some of the bosses you're going to be seeing in this game, except for Jeremiah, whose head has apparently been chopped off. So, it's a cool little piece of foreshadowing where you can see this is what's going to happen, and here's who you're going to be facing. We've already seen that one of the siblings, Ghost, the redheaded guy, and we saw Elizabeth in the greenhouse earlier. So it's really atmospheric. So it allows you to get immersed, even if the game's graphics don't hold up as well as they
Won't
used
budge.
to. It's amazing the level of effort that went into the sound design and even the levels. This could be a Victorian manor with all the pieces. Even though we're seeing a little slowdown right now. That's what, even though it's running on Windows 7, even though it was a...
Is that the door to the gardens?
Yes, it is.
Works out well.
However, I don't have the key. I lent it to the maid. I believe she's cleaning Herr Keisinger's room today. It's located in the east wing of the house.
Thanks. I appreciate your help.
So let's hope it's not one of the dead